Hello everyone, Brett the Comic Novice here, and my video for my September 2023 comic haul from DCBS is finally here. Yes, I finally actually have some health and also some time in order to do this video because I do appreciate doing it. I also enjoy discussing and hearing from the comments regarding your thoughts on either what I buy, what I shouldn't buy, or what I probably need to look to buying in the future. So I appreciate all that. The interesting thing about this whole situation is I also, during the time of being ill, I kind of took the time to think about, do I want to purge the majority of these comics that I got from DCBS and move towards my local comic book store because it's easier to read the comics that I am interested in on the day or week that I purchased it for New Comic Book Day. Long story short, I have multiple massive piles of unread comics, and sadly, some of those just get put in a box to read later, or hopefully at one point in my life before I leave this mortal coil. So, that being said, I was thinking about that, and the hard part about wanting to do that is, well, I'll just pull up the numbers. So, my comic haul consists of 46 new comics from being released during the month of, I believe, September. And yeah, because I got it in 1st of October. Thank you, Brian, for working. And the total came to, for the cover price, $229.54. Again, that is also not including tax. I just barely realized I did not include that. The average per comic price is $4.99. Again, not including tax. So, currently what Marvel is selling their cover price for, I would be, which is $4.99. Also, DC is $4.99. My comics would be on an average more than the current the majority of DC and Marvel's books. Through DCBS, I paid $138.90, which comes to an average of $3.01 per comic. Again, and I did actually correct it, but I didn't correct it on my little live stream feeder thingy. I added the $15, which would be for the boards and bags, as well as the tax, which would take those comics to the average price of $3.32. Now, in the upcoming future, I am no longer going to be having the boards and bags because they have decided to charge an extra 10 cents. So instead of about, I think it was 15 cents per board and bag, it's now 25, and it just kind of jumped everything up just a little bit too much. And I realized I could probably pick up about 4 to 5 more comics for the price of boards and bags. Plus, DCBS really does a good job of, again, not a sponsor of my YouTube channel, but they just really do a good job of packaging. And so I feel as though they're safe even without the boards and bags. Also, generally, most of the time, the boards and the bags, at least the bags, kind of have, I can't use them, or at least half of them, because not the heat ray, the shrink wrapping gun, or the shrink wrapping hair dryer that they use to shrink wrap all the comics together, kind of causes the bags to kind of shrivel up and be, at least in my opinion, unusable. So because of that, I also am going to be saving some money there. So yeah, that's that. I'm also looking at, again, I'm still considering from the last video just going full, what do I want to say, trade paperback or whatnot, because within this, I also have picked up, just one second. I've also picked up some trade paperbacks and also some omnibuses. So I picked up a couple of the, this is the, what is it? Mark Miller Chronauts trade paperback. I decided to start picking up some of Mark Miller's stuff because I've really enjoyed so far the first couple of issues of his current, I can't think of it because big game. Yeah, big game. And then I got this Batman Robin Eternal. I'm not sure how good that is, but I did buy the Batman Eternal, so I just thought, hey, why not, right? So, with that being said, without further ado, let us go to my comic haul. And I will just kind of. All right. So, first off, Batman, White Knight, Generation Joker. This is done by Sean Gordon Murphy. And this is book 5. I super need to get into the White Knight series. I've heard some great things about it. I've just been picking it up because of word of mouth or previous experience with the first White Knight, and I need to just make that correction. Nightwing. I have not read Nightwing since issue 99. And because of what was going on with Tom Taylor's, the hug heard round the world in the Superman, not Son of Kal-El, but whatever, that 6-issue mini or whatever, I found that this book is just neandering. Maybe it's not, but I found it neandering because like nothing really of importance is happening within that book. It's, we had this exciting new villain, Heartless, and then we kind of get postponed and we get pushed back, and then we get, Nightwing turns into the Titans book, and then so maybe it's back on track. I would really like to, get further into the Heartless storyline, and I think I'm kind of picking that up for that purpose only. But I probably should just, drop it all together and just read it on the DC Infinite Universe app. Let's see. Again, here is Titans issue number 3. Again, written by Tom Taylor. So I did do a review of this issue number 1. I did have some complaints, and I will tell you, I am very glad that I had some corrective feedback from people who watched the video, and I did appreciate that. There was some not so nice comments, but you know what, whatever. And what I appreciate about it is I was reading what was going to happen one way, and because I am just tired of news and stuff like that constantly leeching in. And I understand comics has always had the news aspect, what's happening in modern day culture aspect, but maybe it's because of the 24-hour news cycle that it almost seems heavy handed. And I felt as though issue number 1 was that. I've since picked up and read issue 2 and this one right here. And I do like that, the Garth, the Aqualad, there was some reason for his behavior. So with that, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what goes on with there. Superman issue number 6, I kind of decided to what makes it hard for me to not buy this from my local comic book store and rather DCBS is the $4.99 cover price. And I wish it was $3.99 because it's the same exact price as most of the $3.99 stuff. But because it's a Superman book, because it had, at least right currently from this one, we had Joshua Williamson on, and then we had Gleb Melnikoff where you had Campbell as previously doing the art. He did the art on the cover for this one, but again, it's almost like it's overpricing, like the average reader. And again, it's not like this is a novel that can last, hours, days, or weeks, even though I do know that some friends of mine can read a, 600-page novel in one sitting, which just is incomprehensible to me. Wonder Woman issue number 1. This is Tom Taylor's. I've not read this one. The funny thing is I have 2 versions of this. I have the Stanley Art Germ version, which I really am excited to, have owned. This is the main version of the cover. I need to read this. I also have issue number 2, and we'll get issue number 3, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pursue beyond that, but we'll just see. Who knows? I will tell you, I think I've only read a handful of Tom King books before I just decided, he just irked me on Twitter one day, and you need to realize, that just because somebody is some way on Twitter does not mean that they don't create a good product. So I need to possibly, maybe look into that. Strange Academy Moon Knight. This I just picked up again for my nephew. I have no idea what's going on in that. I gave my nephew the trade paperback for Moon Knight, or not Moon Knight, for Strange Academy for the first 6 issues or whatever. I think he thoroughly enjoyed that. This one, I was so excited to see this one. This is, what is it? World's Finest, issue number 1, Batman Superman. And on the cover, it has the Nick Cage, with an N on the Nick Cage Superman with an N on the Superman logo. When I saw that, I knew I was not going to buy this at my local comic book store because it was going to be $5.99 or whatnot. But I needed to have this in my life. This is fantastic. Nick Cage as Superman on a cover. Yes, please. Yes, please. This one right here, Gunslinger Spawn. And let's see. The interesting thing about this one is I think this is the last. I'm curious. I did buy a Kickstarter with Brett Booth art in that, and I know this is, I think, the last issue that Brett Booth is on Gunslinger Spawn. It remains to be a really fun ongoing series. I like that it is, taking a Spawn from the Old West days and throwing them into modern time, which is just a fun thing. But the other thing that I'm, at least with me, for personally, just to go back to Gunslinger Spawn before I move on to the next one, is I'm half tempted to pick this up only, and yeah, I hate saying this, only through the trade paperback, but because of the quality of Todd McFarlane's Spawn books, the good paper, the great art, the good storyline, also you have the cardboard cover, which is only $2.99 compared to what DC and Marvel do for a cardboard cover, which is about $5.99 and beyond, sometimes $4.99, just depending on the price of the book. Batman, number 137. This is the Gotham Wars. I have not read this. I actually just barely read the conclusion to Gotham Wars without having read either the prelude or any of the Batman Catwoman connecting books. And I will tell you, I'm almost half tempted to either just skip out on all of the mini event stuff and just either read the last one, because you can kind of, if you pay really close attention, especially if you're reading the book beforehand, you can kind of glean some information on what is actually going on in the story. There's a couple of things that's going on with Jason Todd I'm not 100% sure about, but at the end of the day, it was an unnecessary event that detoured Batman, and hopefully once this Gotham War stuff is done, things will get back to normal and whatnot. Local Man. This one is perhaps one of the great finds from Image Comics. This is so fun. It has this hero that is not over the hill, but kind of like post-retired, and he's almost having to relive shunned from his superhero days for some of his decisions or superhero-ness or whatever, and also kind of being on the outskirts with his team. I think it is a fun story. I'm not sure if it's considered an annual or whatever, but I really like Local Man. I think that is a fun story. So I did pick up this one right here, Night Terrors, Night In. This is the conclusion to Night Terrors. I do have all the main stories, the introduction to it. Actually, no, I think I just have the introduction from it on my DC Infinite Universe app, because they gave it to us for free before, to entice us to read the event. And it did not endear me to the event. I bought issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one is the conclusion. I've not read any of them, and the sad part about it is, and this is what I'm going to really have to kind of go over with my DCBS purchase with a fine-tooth comb, is, do I really want these in the near future, or should I just sit out? And this goes for Marvel too. I just barely finished reading the Carnage Reigns series on the Marvel Unlimited app, and that, because they tied it into the Red Goblin series, which I was not reading, and they had, the Alpha and the Omega issue, which I was not a fan of. I was reading the Miles Morales series, which started off pretty good and then got hijacked by the Carnage Reign series. I was reading the Carnage series, which I feel as though was kind of leading up to this, but at the same time, it didn't. Also, it was almost like the mini event it was Cletus heavy, even though the Carnage was the series was leading up to Carnage and Cletus kind of not working with each other, and Cletus doing his own symbiote thing, and Carnage finding a new host, and then the event was just basically Cletus-centric, which I just thought was kind of odd. Let's see, Miracle Man. I have not read any of these. I do have the omnibus version of this, and also, is this issue number 6? I think this might be the last one. There might be an issue number 7. I'm not 100% sure. Then we have The Immortal Thor. Again, I have not read this one by Al Ewing, but because of a lot of people, encouraging me to not only read The Immortal Hulk, but I've never really read a Thor book before, and so I was kind of interested by this. I will be looking into this. I've heard from some of the other comic YouTubes and podcasts that I listen to, oftentimes people use, 3 issues should tell you where you're at. I think that's an interesting philosophy. I'm not sure I'm 100% on board. I think it's either 3 issues or maybe the first trade paperback. But the hard part about it is Marvel, DC, and whatnot kind of don't have a consistent, this is how many issues there are in the trade paperback. It could be 5, it could be 6, sometimes it could be 7, who knows? So that's where it gets kind of like a little sticky with that situation. Okay, this is Big Game. Again, I actually bought this because I forgot that I had this in my haul from my local comic book store. This is fantastic. Again, that's why I have so many of the Mark Millar trade paperbacks, because I want to kind of get to know some of these characters that I'm just kind of gleaning a little bit of information here and there. I have not read any of the Miller World stuff until now, and I'm hopeful to and that's, at least for me, that's how you write an event, not this whole Gotham War Carnage Reign stuff. Get people to want to go back and read other stuff, pick up trade paperbacks, or pick up. I know the comic companies don't want you to be finding the old back issues. They want you to buy the brand new trades. But I mean, that's how you do certain things. You do an event that is easily accessible and understandable by a lot of people, and it encourages them to go pick up previously done trades and stories. Let's see, Dark Ride, issue number 8. I believe this is going to be my last issue. I think I'm just going to trade weight the rest of this. This is Joshua Williamson. This is kind of like, what if Disneyland, or a Disneyland that was created in Vegas, which was kind of like coerced or helped created by the devil and whatnot. I feel as though it's fun. The paper quality is good, the writing's good, the art's good, it has a good cardstock cover, and it's $3.99, which is fantastic. Again, DC and Marvel could learn from that, but I feel as though that the story is just kind of slowing down and is just going to be dragging out, and so I would rather just pick up a trade for instead of just going issue by issue, because I feel as though I have way too many comics. I sit and look and think, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't. I know I don't compared to some other people, but it's just like you start becoming aware of how many you have, and especially for me, how aware you are of what you're currently not reading. All right, Teen Titans World Finest. I've not read this. I almost want to wait until issue number 6 to read this, which is silly because I could have probably just got it all for free through the DC Infinite Universe app had I did that. But I like reading, I like holding, thumbing through, touching, without having to zoom in and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon, but I think the reading experience on paper is a lot better than it is digitally. Let's see, Spider-Man Miles Morales, issue number 10. So I believe I have up to issue number either 10 or 11 or 12. And then I'm out on Miles Morales because they're doing this whole gang war. And I read it in the solicitations that Miss Marvel is going to almost be the headline in the Miles Morales book, which, I mean, why? But whatever. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham. So I actually found and picked up the what is it? I have it right here. I picked up the, what is it called? The ash can. I found this. It was being sold for $3, and I knew that it was going to be worth more than $3, which I probably should have sold it at the time because I probably could have gotten money for it. I probably won't get as much money for it now if I sold it. But I read the ash can for that. I have this right here. And here's the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about. I like it. I think it's a good story. But I also appreciate the Black Label book style of this. I'm glad that it is not like the oversized, because I think the oversized stuff it's hard to fit in boxes and stuff like that. But I think I'm almost, when it comes to Black Label, if it doesn't like scream to me, or if it's not like a Superman book or something like that, because I think I'm all in on some Black Label Superman stuff. If it's not that, I think I'm probably just going to just wait it out, because I got that issue, and I think and the second issue, I believe, comes out in either November or December of 2023, and I think I am just going to, wait for DC Infinite Universe on that one. Okay, Ronin Book 2. So I read Ronin, which is on the DC Infinite app, because I believe it was probably purchased by DC, by Frank Miller. And I really enjoyed this. And however, I'm not like really invested in this book 2 series. So I got up to issue number 4. There's 2 more. And I think I'm, just because of the price also, I think I'm out on that one too. Noctera, which is Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels' horror book with Image, which they did a Kickstarter for to buy the black and white art for. I feel as though, similarly to The Dark Ride, it was really good. It has a good story. They kind of conclude it in this issue right here, but then there is, they also leave it open for a continuation. And I think if it's a continuation, I do have interest in buying it, but I don't think I will be buying it from issue to issue. I think it's going to be, a trade paperback route for me. Daredevil issue number 1. I have not read this. I'm buying so much Daredevil stuff. I'm super excited because I think this is one of the more enjoyable characters from Marvel that I have, constantly been buying. And so I'm kind of curious what this new writing talent, I know it's not new, but Saladin Ahmed, I've heard some good things. I've heard some bad things regarding his writing. And I will guess, it's just up to me to figure out whether I like it or not, because if I like it, that's all that matters. Then there is this Stanley art germ for this Batman and Robin with the foil cover. I think that is fantastic. I saw this pop up on DCBS, picked that up. I really enjoyed. Somewhere in here, I do have issue number 1 of the standard issue. There it is, right there. There is Batman and Robin issue number 1. Again, this is, and the main reason why I'm not even sure if I'm wanting to pursue this. I like Scott. I like Joshua Williamson, but I also, one of the things is the cover art right here that is done by DeMeo. They're the ones that does the cover art within the whole interior. And I've read we only find them when they're dead, the first 5 issues of that. and it's okay for like I think science fiction stuff, but I'm not sure it works personally for me for Batman and Robin. I think it's kind of like more of a dystopian, uh, I don't know, future. But that's just me. Black Panther number 4. So I'm going to be done with Black Panther after issue number 5. I find it's not bad. It's not John Ridley bad. I mean, I kept on going with John Ridley because I kept on hoping that the introduction of that brand new Black Panther, the Tosin, not Cole. Yeah, I think Tosin. No, I don't know. Anyway, I feel as though I kept on picking that because I was hoping that there'd be more interaction because I think that was the most interesting thing that John Ridley did. This is just okay. And I'd like to continue like picking up because it's $3.99. I would rather buy more DC and Marvel comics that are kind of like okay for $3.99 than some of their like better books for $4.99 because I could just, the price of my Marvel Unlimited is basically $5 a month, which would basically be one of their brand new $4.99 comics that they're, selling. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing. I have not read a single issue of this. I have all 10 of them, and I'm glad that after issue number 12, it is being canceled so that I can like finally stop because I was just... One of these days, either I need to just sell all of those Joker ones on eBay if anybody wants to buy them, or I just need to, open them up and read them and then put them in the attic and then probably never think about them again. Okay, Detective Comics, again, written by Ram V. I have currently 6 unread Detective Comics by Ram V because they are so long and I'm not sure, and they're slow. I will continue to pick Detective Comics up because I believe that this title will get good or it will like improve shortly. I'm not sure if, maybe it's just me. I know a lot of people like it. Some of the podcasts I listen to, a lot of them do like his writing style. I just am finding the story is slow and monotonous. Let's see. Flash. I'm not impressed with Cy Spurrier's Flash. I have the first issue and the second issue, and I think I'm going to give this either till issue 3 or issue 5 for the first trade, and then I'm going to be done. It's to go from where the happy, enthusiastic family man of, that Jeremy Adams was writing to this. Like, I almost feel as though we're getting ready to have like a loveless marriage between Wally and his, it's just not good. All right, Batman the Brave and the Bold. This one is issue number 5. I picked this up only because of the Joker Tom King story, and I'm annoyed that I picked up issue number 3 because it was supposed to be in there, and then they said, never mind, it's not going to be in there. I'm not sure if I picked up issue 4 or not, but issue number 9 is when they conclude the Joker Tom King story. So I will pick that one up when that happens. And then I will never pick up another Batman Brave and the Bold ever again because all this is a lot of filler. And if you want to charge me $7.99 for a lot of filler, no thank you. I would rather spend my money elsewhere. Okay, Captain America. This is done by Michael J. Straczynski. I never read a thing from him before. I've heard great things. I do own 2 Spider-Man omnibuses written by him because I've heard just how great they are. I've also heard how controversial some of them are. So I do own those. One of these days, I'm going to crack them open. But you know what? It's all about time. And there's never enough time, and my piles of comics just seem to get larger and larger. So I think I need to do a purge. Okay, Scorched. I picked this one up. I picked up a couple of the, Spawn Scourged, but I picked this one up because Dexter Soy is on the art, and now he's going to be going from this to the Gunslinger spawn starting in the following month. And so it goes from Brett Booth, who's fantastic, to Dexter Stoy, who is also fantastic. So I'm going to be picking up and following that title right here. The Incredible Hulk, issue number 4. I think I have issue number 3 right here. This by Philip Kennedy Johnson is fantastic. This is, horror, Hulk and horror, and it's going so well. I'm not sure. I've been told by some of my comments that is what the Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing was doing. So I do need to probably pick that up too and give that a check. But this is pretty good. I'm enjoying this, and I'm hoping that Philip Kennedy Johnson is not going to be going full-time Marvel, because he's exiting the Action Comics book, which has been the best Superman book by far. However, I will say that I am excited for the 2024 Superman title from Action Comic, and also I think that there's a chance that Philip Kennedy Johnson is going to be doing another Superman book like Man of Steel or The Adventures of Superman. Ultimate Invasion, this is issue number 4. I can't wait for this, because all of these. So here's issue number 4. Here's issue number 3. Here's issue number 2. I cannot wait, because I've been waiting. For some reason, all of these got bundled together in one shipment. So I read the first issue of Ultimate Invasion by Jonathan Hickman, and I had to wait till this shipment got here to read all of them. And then, of course, just most recently, the Ultimate Invasion number 1, or Ultimate Universe number 1, just barely came out. I am super excited for that. I will probably be picking up those, probably not from the local comic book store, if they price me out of everything. Void Rivals. So I'm really digging this series. Again, this is Robert Kirkman. This is the Energon universe. This is connecting the G.I. Joe and Transformers series, which is great. The struggle with this series, and this is supposed to be an ongoing series, I'm not sure how ongoing it's going to be, because it's almost like it's what do I want to say? It's almost like the Alien Mine or whatever with I can't even remember the actor's name in it. Anyway, two different races that don't communicate well, and then they become friends, and then there's some misunderstanding because of culture and whatnot. I feel as though, I'm not sure it has lasting power, but maybe it does. Who knows? I could be proven wrong, but it's good. The Schlub, I found this absolutely enjoyable and hysterical. This is about, the issue number 1 was about a dentist who accidentally kind of like changes bodies with a superhero, because superheroes are a thing in this universe. The superhero is taking on his arch nemesis, this Omega arch nemesis, and certain things occur, and he switches bodies with his arch nemesis, or maybe he gets superpowers or whatever. And it was just fun. And you know what? That's what comics need to be. They need to be fun and escapism. If you want to be serious, okay, go do your own independent book, but they need to be escapism and fun. And I feel as though that's what that one did perfectly right there. Wildcats issue number 11. Again, I need to just sit down and go through all of the Wildcats. It is going to be ending after issue number 12. I read the first couple of issues, and I enjoyed it. Even though I really don't know much about Wildcats, I did enjoy it. I do have the first couple of issues of the original series that came out when I was, about 11 or so. So, yeah. Dark Droids, issue number 2. So I thoroughly loved issue number 1 of Dark Droids. This is a Star Wars crossover where there is this intelligent droid that I don't know, that I feel as though I'm missing some of the storyline, but it was super enjoyable. And then I read about 5 issues of World's Finest Batman Superman, and it was almost the same storyline. And so I already know how, the sad part about it is this has a lot of crossovers within every single Star Wars book. And I just tried a couple of the Star Wars books, the main Star Wars book, which I could be good. I'm going to have to go start that from the very beginning because that takes place between the end of, let's see, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So I'm kind of intrigued by that one. There's a Darth Vader book that I didn't read, but I did pick up. But I just, when it comes to events, I'm going to not do tie-ins. I'm just going to focus on the main book unless the tie-in is something that, sticks out to me because I've been basically event free through most of 2023. So I've kind of enjoyed that. Doctor Strange, issue number 7. I'm going to come to an end picking up Doctor Strange once the next trade paperback comes up. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. I need to find things to cut. And I was on the fence between Doctor Strange and The Avengers, both written by Jed MacKay. And I feel as though that The Avengers possibly has just a tad bit more oomph for me. Moon Knight, also written by Jed MacKay. This will be ending and then starting up again because there's going to be the death of Moon Knight. So that's going to be fun. I will probably be picking that up unless they decide to upcharge that from $3.99 to $4.99. That's probably what they're going to do, but because they're jerks like that. Fantastic Four. I think I'm done with Fantastic Four, either in this issue or the next up and coming issues, because I made a mistake. And yeah, I do like the cover. And I read a couple of reviews. I've had a couple of comments on a couple of these videos, and the reviews that I've read say that the Alex Ross cover art and the what's his face North stories are marrying a great Fantastic Four's book. And some of the comments that I've gotten on my videos is no, they're not. At least there's nice Alex Ross cover. Justice Society of America. So this is one of those books that constantly is being postponed and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back some more, and then even more afterwards. So and then Jeff Johns is starting his own imprint, or already had his own imprint at Image, but he's going to go, basically focusing on that imprint. And so once this book is done, sadly, I was really hopeful that he was going to come back and take the reins of DC, because I feel as though he has a really good, grasp of DC and the comics and the characters, unlike some of the current people in charge. So this one, Avengers number 5, I was going to jump off at the very end of, of number 6. I read number 6, and then I picked up number 7 just to see, because the synopsis for number 7 was supposed to be very vision heavy, and that character just doesn't interest me. But I read it, and it leaves on a good cliffhanger, and so I think that's why, again, I'm going to be dropping Doctor Strange and going Avengers full time. I'm almost done. Spider-Man, issue number 33 by Zeb Wells, and I think this is another Spider-Man, which is the last one. Issue number 34 by Zeb Wells. I have not read any of these. I do need to do my video, when did it start to suck with the Amazing Spider-Man, because I keep on seeing and hearing how not happy people are with that. So that is my comic call. What are your thoughts? Any questions? Any concerns about what I am purchasing or whatnot? I thoroughly enjoyed this. I will be probably doing my October haul, because I just barely got that about a week ago. And so now I need to organize these and read them, obviously, even though that there's 4 stacks of my need to read pile. I mean, there's probably like 30 in each pile, but I need to reduce the amount. But it's so hard because DCBS has such, a great price on everything that it makes it just that much easier to just try more stuff. And because it's so cheap, if I miss something there, well, I'll just pick it up at my local comic book store. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. What did you think? Again, like, subscribe, comment down below. I'd appreciate that. And until next time, I will see you in the dollar bin, where I'm pretty sure some of these comics that I've found will be there, because I think, honestly, when it comes to like this Gotham War thing, I figured out how I'm going to possibly, if I don't read them and I really want to like own the whole collection, I figured out how I'm going to get all of those. And that is, I'm going to wait out the Things from Another World sale, where they basically mark down most of their back issues to $1, sometimes $2, and I'm just going to pick up all of those. So yeah, that's how I'm going to go do that. And I think that's how I'm going to purge a lot of these, is just wait out the Things from Another World, and then just be fine if I have a hole. However, that's probably not going to be a thing, because I'm not fine with that at all. All right, thanks you for watching, and yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, comment down below. All right, bye.